You know that feeling, right? You book a hotel room on the super slick, futuristic app, you're all excited, and then you get there, and you find yourself in a 10-minute line, filling out a paper form with one of those pens chained to the desk. Ugh, that disconnect, that frustrating gap between what tech promises and what a hotel stay actually feels like, that's what we're going to get into today. Because the world of hotel tech, well, it's at a major crossroads, and we need to figure out which way it's going. And this quote from the Hotel Yearbook 2025 report, it just nails the big question facing the entire industry. Are they leading this thing, or are they just getting dragged along? Because let's be honest, this transformation, it's happening, whether anyone likes it or not. The only real choice is, are you going to be in the driver's seat, or are you just going to be a passenger? So, okay, let's start right here with the now. Before we can even dream about the flying cars and the robot butlers, we have to get really honest about where hotel tech is at today. And, well, to put it bluntly, it's kind of a mess. And this really shows you the heart of the problem. The industry just isn't moving together. I mean, you've got this big chunk of hotels that are super tech savvy, way up at the high end. But then you have this other pretty big group that's, well, way down at the bottom. It's just a totally fragmented landscape. Everybody's on a different page, using different tools, and basically speaking a different language. And if you need any more proof of just how frustrated people are, just look at this number. So in a survey, people were asked to rate their organization's tech maturity on a scale from 1 to 10. And 16.3% of them gave a rating of 0. Now here's the kicker. 0 wasn't even an option. You couldn't pick it. That's not just a low score, right? That is a protest vote. It's people screaming that for them, the whole system is just fundamentally broken. And you know this frustration, it's not just a one-way street. Everybody's feeling it. Hotel operators are just exhausted from trying to juggle dozens of different tools that don't talk to each other. The tech vendors, they're fed up with ancient legacy systems and the fact that there are no real standards. And my absolute favorite term from the report is irony fatigue. You know that feeling, right? When someone's trying to sell you on this amazing AI-powered future, but the basic Wi-Fi in the lobby can't even stream a video? Yeah, that. So that brings us to the next phase. With all this fragmentation and frustration, the industry is now wrestling with this massive question. What's the right way to build a modern hotel's tech setup? And right now, there are two really different schools of thought. Okay, on one side, you've got the all-in-one platform. This is the dream of simplicity, right? One vendor, one system, one phone number to call when something breaks. It's all about being fast and unified. But on the other side, you have the best-of-breed approach. This is all about flexibility and getting the absolute best performance. Instead of one system that does everything just okay, you handpick the very best tool for every single job, and then you find a way to connect them all. So really, it's a choice between simplicity and specialization. And this quote just perfectly sums up the argument for best of breed. A Swiss Army knife is, well, it's useful. It can do a lot of things pretty well. But if you're performing surgery or, trying to create an incredible luxury guest experience, you don't want a tool that's just good enough. No way. You need a scalpel. You need absolute precision. But then here's the flip side. It's a really powerful counterargument. For hotels that need to move fast and grow quickly, that all-in-one platform is incredibly appealing. It just cuts through all the complexity, it gets you up and running faster, and it gives you that single unified view of your whole operation. You can go from an idea to making it happen without getting bogged down in the details. But you know what? While the whole industry is arguing about platforms versus scalpels, they might be missing the biggest problem of all, because it's not actually about the technology. It's about us, the human element. That's the single biggest thing holding everything back. So consultant Dan Waxman points out these 5 common traps that just keep hotels stuck in the mud. There's the too busy trap. We're all putting out fires instead of focusing on what's really important. The too complicated trap, where the problem just feels so huge we don't even know where to start. Then there's my favorite, the cutting the roast at both ends trap. It's about doing things the way we've always done them. Kind of like that old story about the family who cut the ends off the roast just because their great-grandma had a tiny pan. Then you've got the too political trap, and of course, the big one, the plain old fear of messing up. And this quote from someone in the survey just hits the nail on the head. AI is not the problem. Change is. We can talk about artificial intelligence and fancy platforms all day long, but the real challenge, it's managing change within the organization. It's about totally rethinking how we do things and overcoming that, but we've always done it this way feeling that's so common everywhere. So, how do you get past all that? Well, the report lays out this really clear framework called AIM. First step is to align. You get everyone on the same page by focusing on the actual pain points, not just shiny new features. Then you inspire. You find those champions inside your own team and you celebrate the wins. And finally, you mobilize. You give people practical training for their specific roles and you check in with them. It's a totally human-centered way to solve a technology problem.
All right, so we've talked about the mess we're in now and the big debates about what's next. But even if you have the best change management in the world, you still have to fix the technical chaos underneath it all. And for that, we've got to look beyond. What if there was a way to solve this whole integration nightmare, not by forcing everyone to use the same system, but by actually embracing the chaos?
See, for decades, the industry tried to fix this by creating standards. The big idea was, let's create one common language that all the different systems can speak. But it never really worked. The hospitality world is just too diverse, it's too complex, it's too quirky. You can't just force it into a rigid, one-size-fits-all box. And this is where a truly revolutionary idea comes in. Instead of trying to force every system to speak the same language, what if we built an intelligent translator to sit right in the middle? Think of it like a layer of generative AI that doesn't enforce a bunch of rules. It just understands. It adapts, and it translates between any two systems in real time, no matter how different they are.
This analogy just explains it perfectly. Trying to create one single standard for all hotel tech is like going to the UN and demanding that every single delegate speak the exact same language. It's impossible. But what if you had one AI-powered interpreter who could understand every language, every dialect, every little nuance, and translate between them all perfectly and seamlessly? That is what Gen AI could bring to the table here. That's the vision.
And all of this leads us to the final, ultimate goal. Because the true sign of really advanced technology isn't seeing more of it, more screens, more apps. It's actually seeing less of it. The future is this invisible revolution, where the tech just fades so completely into the background that it all just works.
And this right here, this is the destination. Invisible tech, visible care. It's a world where the guest has no idea about the complicated dance of data happening behind the scenes. They don't know that an AI just reallocated their room because their flight was delayed. All they see is a smiling person ready to welcome them. The technology disappears, and the human care becomes the only thing they notice.
And believe it or not, this isn't just science fiction. At the Caro Hotel in Spain, they're already testing these ideas out. I mean, just imagine housekeeping supervisors using smart glasses to coordinate their teams in real time. Or staff in really physically demanding jobs getting support from passive exoskeletons to reduce strain. And get this, guests can virtually walk through a perfect digital twin of their exact room, not just a room type, their actual room, before they even click book. This is what technology in the service of people looks like. And that's the absolute key takeaway here. This vision of the future isn't about replacing people with robots. Not at all. It's about using technology to support people, to protect their bodies from injury, to empower them to be amazing at their jobs, and to free them up from all the boring manual stuff so they can focus on what actually matters, providing genuine human hospitality. Which really leaves us with this one final thought. For decades, the focus has been on adding more tech, right? More screens, more apps, more stuff. But maybe the real goal was never about adding more at all. Maybe it was about making it all disappear. The true measure of success won't be a new app. It'll be when we forget the technology is even there. So the big question is the industry ready to build that invisible future?